Superman has had plenty of different copycats throughout the years. Everyone just tries to be the next Man of Steel. But surprisingly, one of the best alternate versions is Metro Man. Yeah, the guy from Megamind. So, in a fight between Superman and Metro Man, who's ultimately coming out on top here? And really, is this fight even close to being close? Well, let's get into it. Now, for this showdown, we're going to be limiting Superman to just the version from the DCEU. Just make it movie versus movie. But still, this guy is an absolute powerhouse. In fact, this version of Superman has some of the best raw physical feats you'll ever see in a movie. Which, of course, does make sense. He's Superman. He's been able to casually throw around train cars, pull massive ships, lift up rocket ships, even fly around carrying an entire apartment building. Those are easily multi-ton feats right there. The guy's definitely strong. And all that strength also easily translates into when we see him in fights. Even in his very first fight against Zod and his Kryptonian warriors, while Superman was kinda wrecking shop. Sure, they were able to get their own hits in, but Superman was still strong enough to dominate in a 2-on-1 fight. Then when he actually faced off against General Zod, well, he ended up killing him and destroyed basically all of Metropolis in the process. He showed off that same strength when he completely no-sold the Justice League and casually overpowered 3 of them at once. And these dudes are definitely strong. Then he also managed to fight and beat up Doomsday, even though he had been weakened from kryptonite right before, then got caught in a nuclear explosion in the middle of the fight. And he completely bodied Steppenwolf, a dude who can also fight against Doomsday. Heck, Superman has even managed to overpower literal world-ending and world-shaping events, and he's done it multiple times. He overpowered the beam sent out from the World Engine, then one-shot the machine, then he did it again by ripping apart and overpowering the 3 mother boxes. So yeah, I say it again, Superman is like ridiculously strong. He's also crazy tough. We mentioned it in passing, but the guy straight up survived a nuclear explosion. And a pretty massive nuclear explosion at that, considering that you see it from outer space. He's straight up destroyed mountaintops as he crashed back to Earth. He's taken attacks from Cyborg and Wonder Woman like it was nothing. Heck, Superman even no-sold an attack from Steppenwolf and his axe. That same guy was dominating all the rest of the JL. Like we mentioned, he had already had a fight against another version of Doomsday, and they destroyed a moon in their fight together. Superman completely no-sold the attack. And speaking of Doomsday, well, he managed to take all sorts of attacks from Doomsday, including massive energy wave attacks that were leveling the city. But seriously, he took all sorts of attacks from Doomsday and from Zod, and for the most part, Superman has been able to take it all no problem. He's ridiculously tough. In fact, I'm gonna suggest that Superman is both way stronger and way tougher than what we've seen from Metro Man. And that is kinda hard to speculate because in no way do I think we've seen the upper limits of Metro Man's true power. But we can't just say that Metro Man has no limits because we haven't actually seen his limits. We gotta go off what he's shown us on the big screen. And for starters, even if we haven't seen his best, Metro Man should be pretty strong. When Metro Man disappeared for a while, Megamind gave his powers to a kid to become the next big hero, and accidentally caused the kid to become an evil supervillain and destroy the city. And even with a knockoff of Metro Man's powers, well, Titan was strong enough to lift up a pretty substantial part of a skyscraper and then threw it way far away with incredible accuracy. meaning that he had great precision and control while he was doing it, just showing off how strong he actually is. Then Metro Man actually showed up and Titan ran away screaming. He didn't even try and fight him, suggesting that Metro Man should be way stronger than Titan and should be able to do way more impressive stuff. But while this is definitely an impressive feat, I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility for Superman either. Sure, he hasn't actually done something like this straight up, but with everything that's been built around him in the DCEU, Clark should definitely be able to replicate this feat. So then what about durability? Well, Metro Man really didn't do anything that impressive. He's tougher than Titan, and Titan was able to take some attacks and no-sell some explosions. But this isn't really anything compared to Superman. I mean, you just throw out that Superman literally survived a nuclear bomb and kept on fighting, and well, all this suddenly looks a whole lot less impressive in comparison. No, the biggest crux for this fight definitely depends upon speed, because Metro Man is stupid fast. Like, stupid fast. Like, I'm talking some Flash level speed, some of the best speed in the universe. In the middle of a conversation, Metro Man was able to move so fast that everything around him came to a stop. Time came crashing down, and he had a full-on existential crisis in this moment. He traveled around the world, read books, sat with his thoughts, really took his time with it. The dude was reconsidering his whole existence, and he did it all in an instant while time was frozen around him. He lived out a day in the blink of an eye. Yeah, Superman has been able to statue some people before too. He's even kinda kept up with the Flash when no one else could. But what we're talking about here is on an entirely different level. Superman has never demonstrated this level of speed before, and he's never held super speed for this long either. This is straight up Flash at his best kind of speed. And Flash at his best is able to statue Superman too. So Metro Man can statue Superman, and statues can't fight back. But has Metro Man shown off enough power to actually injure Superman? I mean, Superman has no-sold attacks from a lot of powerful people before. What's to say that Superman doesn't just stand there and not even feel the attack, even if he can't see it coming? Well, I think that's the thing. He can't see it coming, meaning he can't brace for it and take it. And there have definitely been plenty of instances where Superman hasn't been able to just casually no-sell attacks. Enough instances to suggest that Metro Man can do something similar, even if you're just using his skyscraper level strength, which is honestly a low ball for how powerful Metro Man is probably meant to be. Plus, if we're playing by the rules of the DCEU, well, super speed is kinda OP here. I mean, it goes up to the point where Flash is able to fight with Kryptonians and beat them. And yes, some of these Kryptonians are no-names, and none of them were as adapted as Superman is, but you're also looking at Namek and Faora here, and they were definitely as adapted as they were when Superman fought them in Smallville. Basically, my point is that super speed can definitely make up for a lack of super strength in the DCEU. And Metro Man is already stronger, and he's got the ability to move at basically the same speed as the Flash here. Metro Man isn't just meant to be a simple copycat of Superman. He's meant to literally be the Superman in the Megamind universe, meaning he's definitely powerful. While he might not have shown off the truest extent of his strength and durability, I think the strength he has shown off, on top of his absolutely ludicrous speed, makes me think that he can take down the Superman from the DCEU. Like we said, statues can't fight back. Metro Man wins. But what do y'all think? Sound off in the comments down below. I know you're gonna have thoughts and feelings on this one for sure. If you stuck around this long and made it to the end of the video, that's amazing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting us. And if you want to go subscribe, well, go subscribe. You're going to see more videos like this one every single week. I'll see y'all then. I'll see y'all next time.